Alright, this video is talking through the acoustic guitar number 2 part for the Fullness O Come Emmanuel mashup. So I'm going to set you down right here and we're going to dive right in talking about it. First off, I have my capo at fret number 2 and we're playing in A, so kind of G shapes. But we're not doing any of those shapes, so that wasn't helpful to show you. We're doing just the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings primarily. So this is our A. This is our E. We're going to bar the 9th fret. This is our D, barring the 7th fret. And then if we come up here, we've got our F sharp minor. So that's middle finger on the 11th fret of the 4th string, pinky on the 11th fret of the 3rd string, and sorry, I called that that's my ring finger. This is my middle finger on the 10th fret of the 2nd string. So that's our F sharp minor. Alright, so we'll dive right in and show you the first picking pattern. This is the intro, it's just one chord. This picking pattern is used for most of the song. There's the intro, and then verses, so there's 5 verses, but we're only going to cover the first 4 because verse 5, acoustic guitar number 2, drops out. So verses 1 and 3 are from the song Fullness. Verses 2 and 4 are from the song O Come Emmanuel. They're all extremely similar. Verse 1 is identical to verse 3, verse 2 is identical to verse 4. Verses 1 and 2 are very similar. Anyway, they're all 8 measures long. For verse 1, the intro shape and picking pattern is played for the first 6 measures. And then measure 7, you go to the E shape. Measure 8 down to the D shape. On to verse 2. Verse 2 plays the same intro for 5 measures this time, and then the 6th measure goes to E. 7th measure is A again, and then D on the 8th measure. And that's verse number 2. So verses 1 and 2, like I said, are extremely similar. The only difference is we move, in verse 2, we move this chord up by a measure and put another A in between the E measure and the D measure. So in verse 1, it's that for 6 measures, that for measure 7, that for measure 8. In verse 2, it's that for 5 measures, that for measure 6, this again for measure 7, and then this for measure 8. So that's verse 1 and 2 covered, and then chorus 1, same shapes and very subtle. We're just going to 3 fingers, pluck it, and then kind of ride it with the bottom 2. This is E, A, D, A. And I'd probably add that lower, this is the 7th fret of the 5th string. So it's all 4 strings now I'm hitting. That's for the kind of turnaround in the middle of the chorus, and then it repeats the same progression. E, A, D, F sharp minor, A, D, and then the last time you go, at the end of the chorus, you go back to the intro. So that's chorus 1, and then you're on to verse number 3, which is the same as verse number 1, and verse number 4, which is the same as verse number 2. And now we're on to chorus number 2, which is the same chords, but we're going to play different shapes and even a different picking pattern. So far we've just been doing we're going to be up here again for our E on chorus number 2, but our picking pattern is going to be all the way down and all the way up, just going back and forth. So what I did is take out the middle note. So the 3rd string is just open the entire time for chorus number 2. That's why I got the capo on here, so we can get that kind of droning note for some dissonance and some eerie beauty. Also notice my A over C sharp I'm finding right here instead of down here. In chorus 1 I was doing E, A, D. I'm replacing this A with this A over C sharp. But this is also my F sharp minor when I get to that chord. So watch. E, A over C sharp, D, F sharp minor, E, A over C sharp, D. Now my A is down here. I just take my ring finger off and I move down to the 5th fret of the 2nd string. So that's my A. And then, so that pattern repeats. F sharp minor, E, A over C sharp, D. And then at the end, you kind of do one of these. Just to kind of open it up. There's 2 measures of just back and forth between these 2 strings. Alright, so that's chorus number 2. Chorus number 3 is the same picking pattern, the same chord shapes. We're just going to change the order of the chords. So this is going from the chorus number 2 is the Fullness chorus. Chorus number 3 is the chorus, or I guess kind of the bridge of O Come O Come Emmanuel. So the rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. So talking through those chords, I'm doing an E, F sharp minor, D, E, F sharp minor, and then we go to the A, D, E, F sharp minor. That's an entire time through chorus 3, then it repeats. Rejoice, rejoice. Shall come to thee, I'm going to tag this, so instead of going to the E, or sorry, the F sharp minor, I'm going to go back to the A. Now I'm going to go to the F sharp minor. And we're out. Then it'd go on to verse 5, but like I said, we're out for verse 5. So that is the acoustic guitar number 2 part for the O Come O Come Emmanuel Fullness mashup. Thanks.